We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello friends, myself Jignesh M. Barot. I'm working as an assistant professor in Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education Research Center, Navsari. The topic of this lecture is Psychrometric Chart Basics. The psychrometric chart is a graphical representation of the thermodynamic properties of an atmospheric air. This chart can also be used to determine the value for various air properties, but it is more important to understand what must be done to move from one point on the graph to another. Firstly, we will see the construction of different lines on this psychrometric chart. We'll start from saturation line. The only value that cannot be calculated from air and water vapor equations in the saturation line. You can see the curve is the saturation curve. The saturation line is point at which the air can hold no additional water vapor. This line will represent several air values like dew point and wet bulb temperature. With the saturation line, the bottom axis is the air temperature and the right axis is the quantity of moisture in the air. Next is constant dry bulb temperature. Lines of constant dry bulb temperature run vertically up the psychrometric chart. The dry bulb temperature is what if measured by a normal air thermometer. You can see the different vertical lines is constant dry bulb temperature lines. At the point where a dry bulb temperature line reaches the saturation line, the following conditions exist. Relative humidity is 100%, wet bulb temperature is equal to dry bulb temperature, and dew point temperature is equal to dry bulb temperature. Next is constant wet bulb temperature. The constant wet bulb lines run diagonally across the chart. A constant wet bulb means the energy used to evaporate water to raise the water vapor in the air comes from the air in the form of a lowered air temperature. Knowing the wet bulb temperature and dry bulb temperature, a specific point on the chart can be found. You can see the different lines diagonally across the chart is known as the wet bulb temperature lines. Next is constant humidity ratio. The vertical axis represents the water vapor in the air and is commonly referred to as the humidity ratio. This is the vertical line. Horizontal line represents a constant amount of water vapor in the air. If no water is added to the air is humidification, or removed from the air is dehumidification. Then any change in air properties will follow this line. Next, dew point temperature line. At a constant humidity ratio, if the air temperature drop, it will eventually reach the point where it can no longer hold the water vapor, which is saturation line. The point is called dew point temperature. You always found the dew point temperature on this saturation curve line. One simple example is that the dew point of the air in the afternoon is a simple predictor of the overnight low temperature. Next is constant relative humidity. The chart becomes more complex as more lines are added. Another essential line is a constant relative humidity line. The primary use of the constant relative humidity line is to identify a point on the chart. A simple example is that if you raise the air temperature and do not add water vapor, constant humidity ratio, the relative humidity decreases. So, while the humidity is lower in the hottest part of the day, the moisture in the air has not changed. These are the relative humidity lines, which is increasing from 0%, 10%, 20 up to 100%. This saturation line 100% relative humidity. Next is constant specific volume line. Specific volume is a measure of the weight of an air and water vapor mixture. When calculating changes in air properties caused by heating and cooling systems, it is necessary to know the mass of air flowing through them. Next, constant enthalpy line. If calculations are to be performed on changes in air properties, then it is important to know the actual energy in the air vapor mixture, the enthalpy. The enthalpy lines are close to the wet bulb lines and can create some confusion between wet bulb temperature and this constant enthalpy line. Okay, this is the typical chart with enthalpy lines and all the lines we'll discuss here. The resulting chart showing all the lines is complex. However, remember what is important is finding a point on the chart. Okay, we'll discuss different lines construction on the psychrometric chart. Now we will see the different processes which is important to know to understanding of the psychrometric chart. You can see in this graph there are different processes. We will start from sensible cooling process. Sensible cooling occurs when the air temperature is lowered without any change in its moisture content. The most common example is outside air as it cools in the evening. This is a sensible cooling process. Next is cooling and dehumidification. This one. It occurs with both the air temperature and moisture content are lower. This is what is desired when an air conditioner is operating in a warm humid climate. This is also what occurs with the outside air temperature falls below the dew point and you see dew on the grass. Next is dehumidification process. Dehumidification alone is uncommon but can be achieved with a balance between cooling the air to remove moisture and then preheating it. It could also be done by a material that absorbs moisture from the air. Next process is heating and dehumidification process. It is also not common because it requires the air temperature to increase and the moisture content to decrease. Because the most common way to decrease moisture content is by cooling the air below the dew point temperature. This would require cooling and then reheating the air. A dehumidifier running in a small room would achieve this result because the heat given off by the motor is more than the cooling. This causes the air temperature to rise while the moisture content was reduced. Next process is sensible heating process. It occurs when the air temperature increases with any change in its moisture content. A furnace or heat pump would provide this type of changes. Next, heating and humidification process. It occurs when both the air temperature and moisture content increases. This would occur in a furnace with a humidifier or unvented combustion appliances. Next process is humidification process. Humidification is not common. It occurs when moisture is added to the air without any change in air temperature. Next and last process is cooling and humidification process. It occurs when the air temperature decreases while the moisture content increases. This is what happens during evaporative cooling. This process is also known as evaporative cooling. In dry, hot climates, evaporative cooling has been used as a means of cooling. However, it does increase the air's moisture content. So, we'll discuss the all processes to understand the basics of psychrometric chart. So guys, hope you understand the basics of this psychrometric chart from this lecture. Thank you.